This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
On this episode of Discover the Upper Cumberland, we explore Cumberland Mountain State Park, learn about metalwork from Abraham Pardee, find a safe refuge for animals in Crossville, Tennessee, and discover a special tree farm in Jamestown, Tennessee. So come along, and together we'll discover the Upper Cumberland. Welcome to Discover the Upper Cumberland. We're so excited to bring you more stories about interesting people and places throughout the Upper Cumberland. I'm Celeste Flatt-Bennett, and I'm happy to be your guide on this adventure. There's a place on the outskirts of Crossville, Tennessee that gives visitors the chance to escape the busy day-to-day toil of life and just enjoy getting back into nature in a gorgeous, serene setting on top of the beautiful Cumberland Plateau.
We're at Cumberland Mountain State Park in Crossville, Tennessee, an historical park that wouldn't exist if it weren't for the Homestead Project. That was one of the projects the Roosevelt administration came up with to help recover from the Great Depression back in the mid-1930s. And so a part of that project was to provide the area with a source of recreation. And that's how the park became what we know as today as Cumberland Mountain State Park. Originally to provide recreation for some 250 homestead families. It was turned over to the state to operate in 1938. Of course, it wasn't open to the public until 1940. Being a historical park, Sergeant Alvin C. York, famous World War I hero, was the project superintendent overseeing the civilian conservation boys, and he was with the company constructing it up until when he was called away to make the movie Sergeant York in Hollywood. One of the most iconic structures that we have on the park is the Park Bridge, Park Dam, which impounds Bird Lake and roughly about 35 acres. Most of the recreation for the park centers around the water, and we have a boat dock facility with paddle boards, canoes, kayaks, fishing boats, and of course at the time there used to be a large swimming pool dock located out in the middle of the lake, and over the years that was changed, and ultimately we have a Olympic-sized swimming pool now on the park grounds. So the park offers several miles of hiking trails, one of those being an overnight trail 6 miles long. We have a new addition into our trail system, a mountain bike trail that's it's a beginner trail 2 miles long, and we also have recently opened an ADA trail for the first time in the park. ADA means American Disability Act, and so that means that we have a trail now designed so that when people come out that are physically impaired, in wheelchairs, what have you, then they have the ability now to go around and enjoy the beauty of the shores of the lake. Included in that ADA trail is a storybook trail where parents can bring their children out and read this story as they go along the trail, and the stories pertaining to animals out in the forest, putting their baby animals to sleep. And so it's a very enjoyable thing if they can read and learn about it as they go around the trail. We have 37 cabins, 145 campsites, both for overnight accommodations. Have a beautiful Jack Nicklaus designed golf course on the park. We have a famous restaurant, the Homestead Harvest Restaurant. And we have a baseball field, tennis court, basketball, volleyball, pieces of playground equipment for children to play on while the parents are here visiting the park for the day.
So in addition to all the recreational opportunities we offer here at Cumberland Mountain, we also do a lot of programming and have a lot of annual events throughout the year. One of the biggest programs that we have that's open to the general public, but we also do private and individual programs on it, is our Birds of Prey program. We have a new aviary that was established in 2014, and that facility was built and funded all through donations and volunteer labor, so it's a pretty big feat. But we house 4 raptors in that facility, a red-tailed hawk, a barred owl, an American kestrel, and a barn owl. And the general public can come out, see those on a daily basis, but we also get those birds out, have specific programs that we do throughout the park and in local areas. Groups will call us to come out and present, so we'll do that as well. We have a lot of annual events. Some of those are our Easter egg hunt, our trail run we have in May. We have 3 junior ranger camps that we do each summer, and that's always offered in June. We also offer fee-based programs. Some of those include scuba diving. We have moonlight kayaking floats that are offered from May up until October. It's always on the full moon. We offer a women's rock climbing workshop in October, and then we also offer a co-ed spring rock climbing workshop. So there's lots of opportunities there for folks to come out and enjoy here at Cumberland Mountain State Park. With such an increase in screen time in today's society, I feel that visiting state parks gives us the opportunity to get away from that. It gives us time to relax, take in the sights, sounds, and the feel of nature, and just really reconnect with our surroundings.
Cumberland Mountain's a beautiful state park, and we'd just like to invite you to come out and share with us its nature, the beauty, what we have to offer. A great day just to come out with your family and enjoy yourself.
Ignited by a fascination for knights, armor, and swords, Abraham Pardee has fine-tuned his craft of metalworking into an incredible art form. Whether it is functional art, architectural art, or a piece of work inspired by life around him, Abraham puts his heart into each project, creating works of beauty for all to enjoy.
The reason I gravitate to metal in particular is just because of how malleable it can be, yet how resilient it is at rest. At room temperature, it's this immensely strong, resilient material that can hold up to force and pressure and time better than many materials. But then at the same time, you can, with a little heat, a couple thousand degrees, you've got this fluid, supple plastic medium that you can really just manipulate ad infinitum. And there's always something else to discover with it, and always new techniques to apply to it. I started doing metalwork in 2006 when I came to the Appalachian Center for Craft to start my Bachelor of Fine Arts there. And I've been doing it pretty much full time since then. Original origins of that were my interest as a younger person in knights and armor and swords and all that nerdy stuff, and but that quickly evolved after I started to be exposed to actual metal art, you know, the sculpture and art and craft and functional items and tools. As far as my sculpture, the inspiration often comes from just real simple things around me, just everyday life, or thoughts about, you know, people, places, time, and then usually I'll start with an element, something that I've come up with previously or sort of have the notion that I would like to try to make, and then the overall composition tends to grow out of this handful of elements. I'm a very scattered person in some ways, so it's hard for me to feel comfortable just narrowing down to a really finite scope. So I tend to work in a lot of different directions. So I make some smaller home items. I like to make kitchen wares and kitchen utensils. furniture. I really enjoy working in furniture, and my girlfriend is a weaver, and so we've collaborated on a number of pieces where she'll weave the fabric and upholster it onto a forged steel piece of furniture for seating, which has been a lot of fun. The metal's only plastic while it's at heat, so once it's down to about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, that's cold as far as I'm concerned, and so I have to put it back in the fire if I want to do more to it. So it's just a constant heating and cooling, squeezing and squishing and squashing, and so one particularly good blacksmith who put out some great videos before he passed away on instructional videos describes hot steel as an unbreakable bag of goo, and I find that to be a pretty apt description of its behavior. You know, anything you can do with a lump of clay, you can do with a piece of hot steel if you know how to apply the pressure and use something in place of fingers. Some people are more purists, and I'm definitely not a purist when it comes to traditional craft, but I still use tools and techniques that really haven't changed in a couple thousand years. That said, I use a TIG welder and a oxypropane torch on a regular basis, and I have no compunction about that whatsoever, but at the same time, I might go torch cut something or TIG weld something together and then put it in a coal fire that's just run by air burning coal, and then use a hand hammer, which essentially hasn't changed in thousands of years, on an anvil, which really isn't, you know, my anvil is probably 150 years old, and do these same techniques and work the material in the same way that people have done since it first was discovered that they could. So it is fun to reach back into the history of the craft. What I usually tell people who are just beginning or interested in getting started in blacksmithing is there's a whole litany of craft schools, and more are opening every year around the country that offer really good class programs, and just take it, you know, save a little money, take a class. This is something people have been doing for 5,000 years. Why reinvent the wheel? And that's the fastest way you can sort of get an idea, A, if this is something that I want to do or would like to learn more about, and B, you know, what are the basics? There's a few events that I do every year. I do Off the Beaten Path tour, which is a local tour in Cannon and DeKalb counties. It's a lot of fun. You get to see the fall colors and a lot of great art. I also do Art and Ale tour here in Sparta, and my studio is one of the stops. So if you like art and you like local beer, you can come and visit my shop and see me. And then I also participate in Art Prowl in Cookville, and I do demos in the afternoon both days, so live blacksmithing demonstrations.
Motivated by a heart and compassion for animals, Karen McMeekin has created an animal refuge in Crossville, Tennessee. Guided by a no-kill philosophy, she works hard to make sure each animal is treated with love and kindness and ensures a happy home or sanctuary for each one. We are here today in Crossville, Tennessee with Karen McMeekin and A Time for Pause. Thank you so much for having us out today.
Thank you.
Tell us more about A Time for Pause and what your mission is and you know, what you guys do here in the area.
Well, originally it started so that we could create a way to lower the statistical numbers at the municipal shelter. We started programs originally, we were taking animals from the local municipal shelter and taking them out for adoptions because the hours of operation were challenging for the public. And then over the years, we created our own adoption center. So we're an alternative to the municipal shelter for animal surrenders and for specific cruelty cases. Mm-hmm. And so over the years, I became educated through the no-kill philosophy and how to change your community into a no-kill. So that's our ultimate goal, is to become a no-kill community.
Now, I know that you guys have had some things going on here in the Upper Cumberland area. Sometimes you get called out to come in and help with a rescue and helping animals that are in bad situations. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, well, I'm a animal cruelty investigator, and I have a hotline for anonymous abuse. Anyone can call in that number and report suspected abuse. Lately, we've been called by the Sheriff's Department in surrounding counties and asked for our assistance for a collection of the animals, seizing, and then potentially prosecuting.
Okay. So you have the animals here. If you bring them in from a rescue, you nurse them back to health, you get them happy and ready for their future home. What is the process if someone wants to adopt an animal?
Well, you're exactly right. We want to give them the love and the affection and attention that they may not have previously received. But sometimes the animals that come to us were loved, for their whole life, and situations occur where people need to surrender their animal.
Right.
And so a new person that would want to adopt from us would come in, they'd fill out an adoption questionnaire, they would meet a potential animal that would fit their family,
Right.
and then their entire family is invited and encouraged to come down and meet the animal. And then we go through a contract and home visit and potentially a veterinary background visit as well.
How long is that process? How long do you go back and check on the animal and make sure they're adapting well and everything is going along great for them?
Well, one of our policies is that we never want an animal to go into a home where the animal's unhappy or the family's not working out with the animal. So we have a part of our contract that all animals do return to us if there's an issue. So we keep continuous contact throughout the life of the pet if the adopter would so choose. But via contract, they will have contact with us for 1 year.
Tell us a little bit about your grounds here, your establishment, and what you have for the animals here.
We like to call our place a sanctuary. It's a peaceful place, it's a loving place. One of the things about the no-kill philosophy is that we need to be available to the public. So we're here 7 days a week with volunteers and staff members, so people can visit our facility. We have 11 acres. We have walking trails for the dogs. We have indoor-outdoor catteries. We have a quarantine facility. And all of our animals are up to date on vetting. They're microchipped. And their adoption fee is something, that we consider negotiable in regards to a family's financial situation.
Is there a story? Is there one particular, I know there are probably many, but one particular animal that has just had a wonderful success story by the way they've come to you and the home that they've gone into? Is there one that you can talk about with us today?
It's interesting, when you say those stories, I get emotional.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry. Because that's how I started A Time for Pause.
Right.
I had to give up a pet when I was 15, and I never knew where it went. So that stayed with me forever.
Right.
And so some of our animals that come to us come from loving homes, but people want that assurity that their animal is going to go somewhere wonderful. Recently, we helped a woman who was having some health issues, and she just wasn't sure how she was going to cope with life.
Right.
And she's actually the cover story of our next newsletter, Sherry and our dog Sparky. So Sparky is now Sparky Sparks, and he has changed her life. He's a little Shih Tzu mix who recently lost his human. She had passed away, and the family had trusted us to take Sparky in and find a great home. And these two are a match made in heaven.
Fabulous. Those are the success stories
Yes.
that you are here for.
Yes, ma'am.
I know you've told us that you have animals sometimes that are surrendered from homes that for many reasons they have to give up their loved pet, and then you have rescue animals as well. So what does your facility do? What are you guys doing here to make them more comfortable?
So our volunteers and our staff are very passionate. They love animals, and that's why they've come to help A Time for Pause. So when an animal comes in, it's like one of their own. So they feel comfortable. It's like a new life for them.
Thank you for having us out today at A Time for Pause and letting us be a part of your organization here.
Thank
and
you.
Get some education out there to our viewers. Several years ago, Joe and Lena Pennycuff of Jamestown, Tennessee decided to retire and open up their farm, giving families the chance to make memories and traditions for years to come. Enjoying the fall season and the holiday season as well. Although their health has caused them to narrow down their focus to only Christmas, they go above and beyond to make it a very special season for anyone who visits their farm.
My husband and I are retired school teachers. We've spent many decades dealing with the public, educating people, dealing with people, meeting and greeting people. We really liked that. And when we retired, a little bit before we retired, we were looking for the next phase of our life and what to do. And we had this farm here, and when we were both working, we were too busy to do much with it. But we called in the girls. We have 3 daughters, and they're all married. We have 3 son-in-laws, and we have 7 grandchildren now. And we had a family meeting. Our youngest daughter, Casey Harris, at the time, was the Upper Cumberland tourism director there in Cookeville. And she came home from this meeting all excited, and she said, "Mom, Dad, I know what we can do. There's this new thing called agritourism, where you do things and invite people to your farm and share in the heritage of the farm and all the different activities, show kids and teach kids." And with the help of the Tennessee Department of Agriculture, the Department of Forestry, we found out more and more about growing Christmas trees. So we told the kids, we'll start out with 1 acre. If you'll clear it, we'll plant it. And so it started then. They all pitched in, and they cleared 1 acre. We planted 1 acre. Then we cleared 1 acre and planted another acre. And then we ended up clearing more and more until most of the area around the treehouse here, is what we call our store building, is cleared. And we have several acres of different evergreen trees. We didn't have the infrastructure or the old barns and that sort of thing that a lot of farms have. And as we were designing and building this building here called the Treehouse, we thought, you know what, we'd really like to get in on having people here at the farm and sharing the activities on the farm more than just Christmas time. We'll have our house here, our tree house. We have our fields. We'll have our acres of trees. We have acres and acres of the forest here. And we should plant some pumpkins and some corn stalks and sorghum and things like that. And we should invite school children, which was our specialty for years and years, and their families here to the farm. And the families and the kids loved it. It would be hard to decide who loved it more, our family who was hosting those events or the people that came. We really, really enjoyed that sort of thing. And then from about September through December, we were busy with the fall activities and the Christmas activities. And then, just as the fate would have it, I had a reoccurrence of some cancer issues that I'd had. So we had to discontinue our fall activities and pumpkin patch and concentrate on getting my health back to where it should be. And of course the family all chipped in, and so even in the darkest days when my health was not very good at all, we were able to keep it going. And so we decided that the best Christmas gifts that you can give are memories with your family. And so we tell people, come here to our place. We give them, when they drive up, a bow saw and a drag sled. And we tell them, go out with your family, find that perfect tree, cut it down, bring it back here. And we love going out on the porch then and watching and listening. They'll be singing Christmas carols, they'll be laughing, having such a great time. And that's what we try to do. We try to give them something besides a tree or a handmade evergreen wreath to take home. We try to give them lots of experiences, rich, that they will remember and their children will remember. We also want to really emphasize that Christmas is not just a season for getting things. It's a season for sharing things. God shared His love with us with Jesus. And so we also have what we call a tree treasure maze. And we will give you clues for you and your family when you come, if you have time to participate in that with your family. We will give you clues, and you can search the grounds here and see if you can find the true treasure of Christmas. Now, last year, our youngest grandchild was about 18 months old. And so she even was here in the store with us, and we had her in a little playpen. And some children came in, they said, "What's that?" And we said, "Oh, that's one of our elves that works here. We have elves that work here." And they really thought that our youngest granddaughter was an elf, and they couldn't wait to go back out and tell the rest of their family, "You got to see this. There's real elves here at this place. This place must be magic." And it is for us, and hopefully for the families that come and visit us here.
Thank you for exploring the Upper Cumberland with us. For more information on this show, visit our website, wcte.org/discover. Also, if you have any story ideas that you think we should feature, email us at discover@wcte.org. I'll see you next time, and together we'll discover the Upper Cumberland.
This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.